VRC is Veterans Resource Centers of America. We operate by the Department of Veterans Affairs and multiple other government agencies. The difficulty is not every veteran falls into the same little hole that we're allowed to fund services for. So the dollars that are collected for Dancing with the Stars and Stripes benefit those soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that don't fit in those categories. It allows us to do things that we couldn't normally do. For example, we had a father of a veteran who was in one of our treatment facilities whose son was killed while he was in Iraq, and it allowed us the opportunity to buy him a bus ticket and get him a hotel room to see his son buried. That's what these dollars are for, and that's why we need them so desperately all the time. It takes $1.80 to feed a veteran for a day, probably close to about $3 to feed a veteran's family, a veteran and their family for a day. Oftentimes, a veteran and their family don't fall into the confines of the programs that we operate, and therefore these dollars are essential for us to be able to help all veterans that come through our door. And we see about 16,000, 17,000 veterans a year right now.
I've been out of the service now for 21 years, and I think that I haven't held a job for longer than 6 months in the entirety of the time I've been out. I almost took myself out and my wife, and then while I was in the PICU, they offered this place which was for dual diagnosed for substance abuse and for mental health, and it was one of the better ones that I heard of, and so I picked here, and I'm really glad that I did. I don't know if I'd still be around if I didn't have the VRC. This place has impacted my life tremendously. I've had other vets that have similar issues. I don't feel alone. I don't feel isolated. I have a couple people that I consider friends, which I haven't had in years. I don't have high school friends. I have 3 people I've met here that I consider friends, and that's it. It's been a blessing. I can sum that up with one word: it's given me hope.
I was okay for a couple of years. Things seemed going fine. I'd been to school. I started having trouble maintaining relationships, some problems with depression. I ended up losing a couple of places that I was living. That's how I found the VRC. I was having a lot of trouble getting up and going to work. I could be around people and I could smile and pretend to be happy, but it was just pretending. Ended up attempting to overdose on some prescription medication, and realized that I didn't want to go down that path. I would like to start a business. I have an idea to build environmentally friendly and recycled tiny houses. I want to be constructive rather than destructive. No matter what you're going through, you're not alone. You know, that's something that I really struggled with, is no matter how many people I surrounded myself with, I felt alone. I felt empty. And, you know, if you feel like that, know that other people view you much differently than you view yourself. And it's almost certainly much more positively.
When I went to Hearn House, it was at a time when I was just ready. I was tired of my life. I didn't want to go back to prison. Didn't want to go back to jail. I felt like in Hearn House, they worked with me. Being in Hearn House, they give you enough room. They don't ask for much, but it's enough if you want to, get your life together. Some people are not. Some people are ready to get their life together. I was ready, and they helped me along those lines in any way that I needed. Anything that had to do with the outside that I needed to get done, that I had questions, that I needed help, they was there. They made calls for me. They helped me. They talked with me. I had my emotional problems. I had my issues, for sure. But we all do. The staff always made time. The staff, I don't care, for 90% of the time, they're not short with people. I never heard the staff just holler at a person. Just the whole scope of that program, it's like it's on that person to succeed because they give you everything you need to succeed. That's what they do. That's why I still today go there. When I'm out of there, I still stay connected with them because that's the type of program that it is, and that's saying much because I don't be going to other programs or want to complete a program, but they helped me. They helped me a lot. I owe everything. I owe a lot to Hearn House.
Yeah, driving like he stole it.
And say,
Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't want Travis going into something that the thing may not even smog.
Right.
So it's kind of like.
And if it doesn't smog, why are you driving it? And if it doesn't smog, like the laws are there just for fun.
No, they still give you temporary smog.
And if it doesn't smog, like the laws are there just for fun.
They still give you temporary smog.
Whoever owns the car should do that.
That's what you want to try now.
What I'd like to put out there is that some of the vets like me, I never wanted help from the government when I came back because I was so mad at some of the things that we went through. And our patience isn't that great. Our patience is really, well, we're on a short fuse a lot of times. So I'd just like vets that need help to come into places like Roca House or VRC, and they'll point you in the right direction. Get you housing, get you care. They're getting me some dentures that I've needed probably for like 6 years now, so I can finally get my dentures. And it's just, you can't go wrong. It's just, to stay out suffering is not an option. It's not an option for me. It's not an option for the kids coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq and wherever. Just come in and get help if you need it, if you're a vet. Because the VRC is a good place, and they have really good resources and can help. I looked at Roca House and I talked to the case manager at the time was Eric. It's a 2-year program where you can come in and they give you 2 years to save your money moving into a new place or whatever we need. It's been a real blessing for me. And most of the people here have been, the other vets are great. I mean, we help one another. I don't know what else I can tell you about it. It's a fantastic program. It's helped a lot of people since I've been here. Get their homes.
I was living in a van. I remember the first night I was in that van, it was 19 degrees. And then I had a couple of friends, or actually one of my daughter's friend, who took me in for a little while, couch surfing and different people, 2 or 3 people at that time. They hooked me up with VRC and HUD-VASH, and they all worked together to try to get anybody who's been in the military places to live and funds if they need it, food, furniture, clothing. If they don't have it, they give you the resources where you can find it, including jobs. And that's pretty much how I got there. My caseworker through HUD-VASH, she kind of coordinated all of the getting together with the people that I was working with the VRC. I got a hold of her and told her the situation, what was happening, and then she went to work with them once we found a place to live, because that was kind of up to me to find the place to live until it got to this point, and then pretty much VRC took that over and connected with the people that have this place, and that's how we got, it all works together. The HUD-VASH people, my caseworker, and VRC were all just in behind the scenes, and then just calling me and saying, okay, we got this, and we have this. So I would just go in and do what was necessary in order for that to happen. But they pretty much were behind there doing whatever was necessary. I can't tell you what they did, but whatever it was, it worked. This house is owned by COTS. It's something for people without homes, and it's mostly for families. We have another family living here. They have several homes in Petaluma that they're filling with people who are homeless, and you can be a veteran or not. That's how they worked. I'm sure there's lots of things they do besides just what they've done for me. But I tell you, what they've done for me is amazing. I don't know what I would have done without them. I'd still be on the streets. Probably worse.
Wow.
I'm sure there's a lot of other people that would be too. I guess probably one of the most things that's helped me through my depression and my lack of home and coldness and all that is my dancing, passion for my dancing. And teaching, or not teaching, I'd say, but inspiring people to bring the dancer out from them. And it fills me with joy and makes me smile. And I don't think there's anybody in the dance floor that's not smiling when they're dancing. And if we're not smiling, we're just focused. But that's been my lifesaver in everything from being out of the Army and all the things you go through with your kids. When I can go dancing, I go out on that floor and connect with somebody via a dance is communication to another human being, and being close just brings me joy and keeps me from being depressed. I can go home at night after dancing and still feel the feeling inside, the joy that's bubbled up from the great dances I've had with a lot of different dancers. Never have I walked out of a dance sad. Never. You know.
It's what it's setting. My head is swimming, my hips they're swinging. Stumble, fumble, ooh, now I tumble. Oops, how you got to me, sinking, sunken, hiccup, drunk in love. How fast I've fallen, just hearing you calling makes my heart flip and flip, shakes me until I tip. Stumble, fumble, ooh, now I tumble. Oops, how you got to me, sinking, sunken, hiccup, drunk in love. Is that me giggling? Who so secure. Stumble, fumble, ooh, now I tumble. Oops, how you got me sinking, sunken, hiccup, drunk in love. But dish, here's the thing. I haven't had a drink. I haven't had a drink. No, no, not one drink. Stumble, fumble, ooh, now I tumble. Oops, how you got me sinking, sunken, hiccup, drunk in love. In love, sinking, sunken, drunk in love. Oh, hiccup, drunk in love. So, hiccup, drunk in love. I am hiccup, drunk in love. Hiccup, drunk in love. Hick, hick, ba doom, ba doom, ba.